Hey, it's Shelby from Little Coffee Fox, and today I want to talk to you about the habit tracker. In this video, I am going to show you why a habit tracker is such a powerful tool and how you can set one up in your bullet journal or planner. I have been using a habit tracker for several years now, and it has played a huge role in helping me start my own business, get healthier, and live a generally more creative life. Today, I am going to show you how easy it is to get started and make some really big changes in your life right now. So, first and foremost, what is a habit tracker? As the name suggests, a habit tracker is a chart that you create to track your habits. You can keep your habit tracker wherever you want, but most people like to keep theirs in their bullet journal or their planner. Why use a habit tracker? Well, one of the biggest reasons is habits are in the background. They just happen behind the scenes. You don't think about them. You just do them and move on with your life. And because they happen in the background, that can make them very tricky to change. But a habit tracker incentivizes you to notice them, to pay attention to them. Once you pay attention to them, you can begin the process of changing them. Controlling your habits is immensely helpful to making the positive change you want to see in your life, because big change doesn't happen overnight. It happens with little steps every single day, and it adds up to something bigger. If you can harness your habits to help make those little tiny steps every day, then you're gonna see growth fast. So I think we've established that habit trackers are pretty great. Now it's time for me to show you how I set mine up in my bullet journal. First, count out the days of the month. I'm going to be using March 2019 for my habit tracker here. So that means there are 31 days. Then, starting with the last day at the bottom of the paper, count backwards until you reach 1. That way you don't accidentally run out of space and have to cram the 31st in on a margin. Next, determine what habits you want to track. Make sure not to pick too many because you don't want to get overwhelmed. I would recommend anywhere between 2 to 8 habits, but don't be afraid to just track one if you want to focus on one thing in particular. You want to make sure that this is simple so you keep using it every single day. Once you've figured out your habits, all you have to do is write them along the side. That's pretty much it. You can add whatever flourishes or lettering or colors that you want, but that's really all there is to it. There's just the days of the month and the habits you want to track. Now let's talk about how to use your habit tracker. So let's say it is the first day of the habit tracker, March 1st. Ideally, you sit down shortly before going to bed and you think back on your day. Look at your habits. Did you do these habits today or did you not do them today? For example, my first habit is my morning pages. So I have to think, did I do my morning pages today? If yes, fill in the box for the first on the morning pages column. If no, leave that box blank. Go through all of your habits for the first day of the month and determine whether they are a yes or a no for that day. It only takes a few minutes to fill out your habit tracker, which is great because that makes it a lot easier to fold it into your normal nightly routine so you can make sure to use it every single day. Once you're done looking at your habits for day 1, that's it. You close your planner and you go to bed. And then the next day, you come back sometime by the end of the day and you do the exact same thing. Look at your habits, evaluate, fill out your tracker, close your journal, you're done. Just do this every single day and you will begin to see patterns emerging. When you get to the end of the month, it's time to create a new habit tracker for the new month so that you can continue. And that's it. That's the whole process. It's really very simple. So you might be wondering what you should track in your habit tracker. Well, I can't tell you because it's going to depend entirely on you and your life and what kind of growth you want to see. But I have some suggestions that might help you start thinking about what kind of habits you want to start focusing on. Of course, you can always track your health in your habit tracker, both mental health and physical health. There's exercise, caloric intake, hydration, meditation, how many times you cook from home, etc., etc. You might also like putting things like chores in your habit tracker, like tidying up, watering the plants, doing your homework. Personally, I really enjoy putting creative habits in my habit tracker. You can track how often you practice whatever hobby you like to do, like drawing or playing an instrument or woodworking. Or of course, you can always do things like writing or reading to broaden your mind. You can't go wrong with those kinds of habits. Of course, there's a bajillion other things that you can put in your habit tracker. It's all gonna completely depend upon you. So think about it and play around with it. try adding a certain habit and try it out for a month. If you decide that you don't like it or you don't like tracking it, take it out, add something new, don't add something new. It's completely customizable to your life. Don't feel like you have to bog yourself down with someone else's habits. Now, after using the habit tracker for several years, there's a lot of things that I've learned to make the practice more efficient. So here are 6 tips to help you use your habit tracker more effectively. My first tip is to put use habit tracker in your habit tracker, at least as you're getting started. It's something that you're trying to get in the habit of checking and using every single day, so it makes sense that you want to build that habit and remind yourself to use it every day. I did it at first, and it seems really silly, but it actually really does help make you use it every day, and that's what this is all about. Tip number 2, set rewards for yourself to incentivize good habits. For example, if you want to draw every single day, then it would be very beneficial for you to set a reward if you do, in fact, draw every single day for a month maybe. Set yourself a reward of maybe $15 towards some art supply that you've been wanting. That is a suitable reward for the goal that you're trying to accomplish, and that will help incentivize you when you're feeling weak, when you're not really feeling like doing it, whenever you feel like you don't have enough time. I have a full post about it on my site. I will link to it down below if you want to go check it out. There's a little bit more to it, but the general idea is that it's just great incentive for you to get this thing done and build your habit much faster. Tip number 3, if you like to use a weekly layout in your bullet journal or planner, then maybe you should try a week-long habit tracker instead of the full month-long habit tracker. Some people love being able to break up their habits week by week, so it's easier and more manageable to fill in instead of the full 31 day month-long habit trackers. That's something that you can try out to maybe make your habit tracker more effective for you. Tip number 4, use fun colored markers, fun colored pencils, even stickers to fill in your habit tracker every day. If you think that sounds an awful lot like getting a gold star in kindergarten, then you are absolutely right. That is exactly what this is all about. The habit tracker is partially a reward system in and of itself to just make you feel good for having done the things that you have been wanting to do. Have fun with your habit tracker. Fill it in a way that makes you feel happy and satisfied when you fill in a box. Use your favorite color to fill in your habit tracker, or pens that you love to use, or gold stars. Go get you some gold stars and use those. It may sound silly, but it works. Tip number 5, marry a new habit that you're trying to build with an existing habit that's already in your routine. So again, let's say that you're trying to draw every single day. Instead of trying to fit that drawing into some random 15-minute period, why don't you pair it with something that you know you're going to do, like have your morning cup of coffee. That way you can know that you're going to have the time because you know the coffee's happening anyway, so you don't need to invent a 15-minute window. One already exists. Just draw right then. And after some time, it will begin to form a very strong association between the two, which means it will be a lot easier to remember to draw every single day. So think about things you do on a daily basis, like brushing your teeth, showering, maybe your commute to work, and find a way to pair a habit that you're wanting to build into or right next to those routines. That will make the entire process of developing and growing a new habit much smoother. Tip number 6. If you miss time in your habit tracker, if you miss filling it in for a period of time, don't sweat it. It's really not that big of a deal. Things crop up all the time that can stop you from filling in your habit tracker. Sudden illness, a vacation, the holidays, maybe you're just not feeling like doing it for a while. All of those are all right. You don't have to fill it in every single day to be successful and to find significant growth. I miss time in my habit trackers like constantly. I'm always getting disrupted by something or another, and sometimes I don't fill in my habit tracker for weeks on end. I have gone for longer than a month without filling in my habit tracker, and the world did not fall in on me. All you need to do to get back to using your habit tracker is to just begin using it again. It doesn't matter if you're halfway through a month, at the very end of a month, if you want to pick up when the next month begins, whatever the case may be. Just start again. Don't beat yourself up and move forward. I was only going to do 6 tips, but actually I had another one pop into my head that I want to share with you as a bonus. I've been talking about the habit tracker as a way to grow positive habits, and very much so it is a great tool for that. But beyond positive habits, you can also use your habit tracker to destroy bad habits. If you're trying to stop stop drinking soda or stop using social media so much. Those are things that you can write down in your habit tracker and track them to see how often you're doing those bad habits and begin the process of decreasing them and totally eliminating them. So yeah, your habit tracker doesn't have to be just for good habits. You can use it for whatever kind of habits you like, and the effect will still be the same. You're just more aware of those habits, which means that you're more able to change them. Remember, as you're getting started, habits are slow by their nature. They're slow and sometimes difficult and sticky. This tool makes it much, much easier to just pay attention, to just notice. And really, for habits, noticing is half the battle, because you can't go about making changes to your habits if you don't know where they're cropping up in your life, how they're manifesting, how often they're happening. You need to be able to see it, and that's what the habit tracker is all about. Give yourself some time. It's not going to happen overnight, and just be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's it. That's all you need to know to start using a habit tracker and start seeing amazing changes in your life. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you go down below and hit the thumbs up button, because that helps me make sure to make better content for you. Also, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss out on any more of these awesome videos as they come out. You also might like to head over to my site, littlecoffeefox.com, which has a ton of information about all different kinds of goal setting, habit tracking, bullet journaling stuff. So make sure you head there and go check that out. Quick question for you. Do you think that you would prefer a monthly habit tracker or a weekly habit tracker? Let me know in the comments down below. That's all from me, and I will catch you later.